Well, I've come up to talk to the Department of Health and the spokesman, Tony Jones, about the news, of course, about dentists being in short supply in the Isle of Man. Mr. Jones, what's going on?
Well, it's a combination of circumstances has arisen, really, Paul, mainly through illness and recruitment problems, which has resulted in a shortage of dentists within our salaried dental service. This means that until the situation is resolved, then we are going to have to prioritise services, and unfortunately this means an introduction of a temporary suspension of routine checkups and treatment. It's only at our two dental clinics in Douglas, Hillside Dental Clinic and the Community Health Centre Clinic in Westmoreland Road.
Is it fair to say most people have now gone private then?
Well, no, there are many people who've gone private, but there's still, as one would expect, a great demand for NHS dental services, and we will continue. The department is continuing to provide those services. Unfortunately, this temporary situation we've got, we're taking measures to try and resolve the situation, will be over fairly shortly.
You can't get people to work for the government, they want to work in the private sector, is that where we are?
Well, we don't know that. I mean, we don't have necessarily know the recruitment difficulties that general dental practitioners might have. It hasn't always been the case, but more recently we seem to have had some difficulties in recruitment. One of the things we're looking at is alternative ways of recruitment, looking at the style of the advert, looking at where we place the advert, maybe the sort of the presentation, and just to try and attract interest in the role.
Well, I'll tell you what attract people, it'll be the salary. Are you offering the right salary for this job?
Yeah, well, the salary is linked to the national salary for salary dentists, so it is a competitive salary. And as I said before, we have had a lot of interest in the past. It's just for some reason more recently there's been not the response we would have hoped for.
And you're saying you can't put your finger on exactly why you're not getting the response?
No, it's difficult to know. I mean, we talk to the dentists who have been with us, and those that are with us seem to really enjoy the work. It's something that they enjoy doing, working within the salaried service. The main difference between the salaried service and the general dental practitioners in the community is that the salaried service is purely NHS service. There's no scope to take on private patients.
I mean, the worrying thing is the Isle of Man is really noted as having the worst teeth in the northwest of the UK as such. We were lumped in on that survey. Now you're telling people they can't go in for a checkup if they're in the NHS scheme, almost forcing them possibly to go private now.
Well, as I said before, we hope this is just a temporary measure. We are taking steps to try and alleviate the situation. The dentists who are currently with us are working additional hours. We're hoping to employ additional locums, and as I say, we're looking at the recruitment campaign that we're operating.
You say temporary though, but have you got any idea when you will be over this little blip? Well,
it's difficult to say. I mean, the additional hours, obviously, the dentist work will help. We are very hopeful of getting locum dentists in, which will also help. The department regrets having to introduce this measure, but hopes that the actions we're taking will keep disruption to a minimum.
Now, is this shortage also affecting other areas in the UK, for instance? I mean, is there just a shortage of people for these jobs, or you simply cannot get them here to the Isle of Man? Whatever your advert looks like, yeah. Are you having problems getting them to the Isle of Man? Well,
I think people coming to the Isle of Man, it's a big step for a lot of people. It's not just sort of another train ride away or a car ride. It's a big step, particularly for families to come over. But we find that if we can get people over here to have a look, then they like what they see, and it's just a case of attracting them in the first place and getting their interest.
And I take this will be a political answer, which you probably can't answer, but do you feel that they have to offer better incentives, therefore, to get people to take these positions?
Well, we offer relocation packages, so that at least coming here they don't lose out in terms of expenses. And we have a relocation package which covers them on a temporary basis until they get settled, if they've got a commitment in the UK with a home and they also have one here. So we try to help out where we can.
And you're not being squeezed by budgets on this. You have the money to pay people. You just can't get the people.
That's right. That's right. It isn't a cost-cutting exercise or a budgetary issue now.
So do you have any ideas when you think you'll be over this?
Well, I would hope that in the next month or so we will see a vast improvement, which will allow us to recommence checkups and treatment. It's perhaps fair to say that there are some people who are not affected by this. I just want to point out that children will continue to receive all the care and treatment they need, including checkups. People who have additional needs who see our community service, they will get their treatment. People who have already had an appointment booked for them for checkup and treatment, that will be honoured, and people in the middle of a course of treatment will have that treatment completed.
And this is just a problem with you in the public area. The private sector is fine, is it?
As far as we know, we're not aware of any recruitment problems in the general dental practice area. And as I say, we hope this is just a temporary measure.